All right, welcome back to the Hustle Podcast, basketball edition. Oh no, we're not ready. We're ready. Is it going right now?
Oh, wait.
Welcome back to the
Yeah,
Hustle
okay.
Podcast. All right. We ready? Okay. Welcome back to the Hustle Podcast. It's your host, Caleb Westra, along with CJ, Hester, Logan, and John not with us tonight. We're going to dig into some college basketball and some NBA. So let's kind of break down what we're going to talk about with college basketball. First, we're going to talk about Jawan and Penny, early success recruiting. Who's going to win the ACC in Big Ten? Which coaches or programs will be at the top after college basketball at the end of this decade, meaning 2030, when we look back 10 years later into the future, who will be standing along that top 5, top 3, top 2, whatever. Jawan and Penny, dude. Early recruiting for this 2020 class.
Let's start with Memphis and not necessarily this class, but Penny's is starting to get some guys committee, and he's gonna have one of the top players I think commit in a couple of weeks. But I think his recruiting class from last year, how strong we saw it being the number one class, bringing in 7 new guys who's all playing, starting most of freshmen. I think what Penny has shown is that his connections on the AAU level and being a high school coach is crazy. And it's not like he's taking over the Midwest or he's taking over the East. He's recruiting everywhere. So I think that's a big thing for Memphis right now. Memphis is grabbing guys from California, from Florida, from Texas, from North Carolina. They're grabbing guys all over and bringing them to Memphis.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. Penny had a great class this year, a lot of freshmen. Unfortunately, James Weissman, saying that he's going to focus on the draft. I understand that. When a lot of speculation and stuff like that arises, I get that. So that being said, let's see. I love, Penny's outlook on the game. Great guy. But let's talk about Juwan Howard. Just laid in a few names to mention. Just Terrence Williams, 4-star out of Washington, D.C. He was going to go to Gonzaga, but he picked us. Not to mention, Michigan just went into the 4th spot overall behind Duke and Kentucky. And what was it, Kansas?
It is Duke, Kentucky, North Carolina.
And talk about blue bloods. So now, do you mention Michigan as a blue blood now? Like, are they relevant enough? Because they were relevant back then for a while. They're not the most successful, but their history in basketball, do you put them among the blue bloods?
For the period between 2000 and 2008 was rough. It was rough for Michigan basketball. And I think right now, let's just say if we were decent and we went to tournaments here and there, but we were bad. I think we still building something up.
Yeah.
But what Jawan is doing right now is what Penny did. But this is.
I mean, you got Zeb Jackson, 4-star, 61st overall. Hunter Dickerson, 4-star, 34th overall. And then Isaiah Todd, 12th overall with a 5-star.
So you got
and then not to mention Williams coming in.
Yeah, and that's 3 4-stars, 1 5-star. All guys that could start next year. And depending on who Michigan gets back next year, Michigan's going to be real dangerous. And Michigan, in a couple of weeks, will have Greg Brown coming to visit. Greg Brown is the 8th best player in the country. He also plays a 4. And people are wondering, why is he still going like the big guy? He has Isaiah Todd, blah, blah, blah. People aren't sure if Isaiah Todd is coming to Michigan. Not that he would decommit and go to a different college. There are real concerns that he will go play pro overseas for a year.
I don't think so.
His the fan base, everybody wants him, and he, as a person, we have heard that he really wants to go to college. Mm-hmm. His family is really close with his mom on the other side. Are what I heard and seen and read are pushing him to go to Australia and play in the NBL, just like
I think that's
RJ Hampton.
stupid.
No, I'm not totally against it. He can come. He can go in Arbor, play for you, and tear his ACL, but he can go in there and get money. I'm not.
And tear his ACL there and never have a career.
Either way, I'm not against a guy going pro. I'm not.
What do you
He's
think?
working out for LaMelo. He's working out for RJ Hampton.
What do you think about Josh Christopher?
Josh Christopher is, as people would say, I don't know if he's the highest ranked recruit on command, but people would say he's the best player
6'4", 200 pounds.
who isn't committed yet.
Shooting guard.
Josh Christopher, if you watch any of his highlights on Twitter, YouTube, whatever, it's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
He's a flat baller. He's a showman. He likes to put on a show for the people. And you can see some of his tweets. He's been tweeting at Michigan lately. He watched
Showing
Michigan.
the love.
Yeah, showing the love. And I think for him to come to Michigan, I think that's your honest statement. Was look, I was part of the 5-5, but I'm about to make a new one. If he got Josh Christopher and he brings in the 4 we have right now with them,
Mm-hmm.
that's a 5-5. That could be a shine light next year.
Yeah.
Not even including Greg Brown, who's really taking a official visit.
Well, let's not even talk about who do we have coming back.
Everybody who's not a senior will probably be back this year.
So that is
Isaiah Livers and Franz Wagner. You got DeJulius coming back. Everybody besides
Jones
Simpson,
Jr.,
John Jr. will be back. Everybody will be back basically
Castleton,
besides
Simpson, and
Teskey. So that's where we're at with that. So Michigan's looking real dangerous in the future.
I like it. Austin Davis getting some minutes, not doing the best, but he's helping.
And after this year, I'll tell you what, Michigan's depth in the back, in the front court with big guys won't be an issue ever with Juwan Howard as a head coach.
That's we forgetting about talking about Eli Brooks. I mean, like he
He'll
can come
be a
on.
senior.
And
He'll
be
also be a senior next year.
So he'll be a good point guard with DeJulius, along with all our freshmen coming in.
So next up,
Who's going to win the ACC and who's going to win the Big
let's
Ten?
go with the ACC first. Louisville just got upset the other day. Duke is back at number 2 in the country. Duke's playing the most solid right now, but I'm a little sick with my horses. I picked Louisville to win the ACC.
I want Louisville to win.
I'm
the
sick with
ACC as
Louisville.
well.
I think they have the most talent, and I think I just trust them the most as players on the court. I definitely don't trust Duke's freshmen right now. They got Tyus Jones, they got Coach K.
Yeah.
Virginia just can't score that many points.
Yeah.
So, and we know what
They're
North
not
Carolina
the
is right
same.
now.
Yeah, they're not
It's
the same
not.
team. North Carolina's turning into a real shit show just with injuries.
Yeah.
I mean, possible 2
It's almost
starting
it's almost a dead
guys
season.
out for. Yeah. It's like, do we even try to play and make the tournament?
Yeah.
Like,
Or do you just let these guys down and everything?
yeah,
It's almost a dead season.
Roy Williams has a choice to make there. So ACC, that is pretty much it's a 1-horse race. I mean, we got 1 or 2.
I think it's 3. I think it's Virginia, Duke, and Louisville.
But I think Louisville has a steady lead. I mean, let's be honest. They struggled here and there. They're still discovering themselves, but the talent is just unmatched. When they're playing, their basketball, I think they can be the best team in the country.
Big Ten. Nah. I was up. You asked me 4 days ago, man, look. I think I say so win. You ask me now, I'm like, I don't know how Michigan State so lose a conference.
Cassius Winston is a walking bucket.
And we know that. And I think
We've
know
been on that, but then he shows us time after time because it's like we forget. I don't talk about ESPN doesn't talk about him. Nobody talks about him. And all of a sudden he drops 40 points and has a career high and just hits 3 threes back to back just to pull away from Michigan in the 4th with 5 to go.
I just don't think people are concerned about his players around with him. And they kind of showed up against Michigan.
I mean, Aaron's look good. He knocked down a few threes.
Watts
Tillman plays
is very long as a freshman.
Rocket Watts is looking good as a freshman. Xavier Tillman, dude, just a scrappy mofo, dude. He got a lot of boards, went inside, a lot of hook shots, got a lot of blocks too. Xavier Simpson wasn't able to do what he does because the way Tillman played on the defensive boards. And it was just different.
Unlike the ACC, where I think if Duke, Virginia, and Louisville are playing each other, I think they probably win every night.
Yeah.
But in the Big Ten,
you never know.
You never know. Like, Ohio State just lost to Wisconsin at the road. I mean, at home. That's crazy.
One team I really like, a dark horse that I don't think will win the Big Ten, but they'll be good in the Big Ten tournament is Illinois. So Illinois, I really do believe that they have a chance to do something good. I mean, you can't leave out Michigan. You can't leave out Maryland.
I got one underrated team, one overrated team. My overrated team is
Maryland.
Maryland, I don't think they play up to the potential. And I just think their point guard is really good, but the surrounding pieces around him aren't playing. I don't think they shoot the ball that great.
Who's underrated?
Penn State.
I was just going to say that they have a great coach.
Great coach. They have a go-to player. And I think
what more do you got to talk? They remind me a lot about Taylor Battle back in the day. They had like not so good team, but they edged by and made it to the championship or into the tournament, and just a feisty team.
I think Penn State could solidly make it to the second week of the tournament.
I don't want to play.
I think Penn State can be pretty good this year.
One team I feel like is very overrated is the Indiana Hoosiers.
For sure.
I think that people don't realize they had the first 8 games at home. They hadn't played anybody against Cupcakes.
And when they do play, they lose to Arkansas.
They lose to Arkansas. They lose to Wisconsin. They lose to Maryland by 20.
They lost to Wisconsin by like 20.
Like they're just getting blown out of the water. I just think they got to figure something out.
Is it the coaches? Is it too early? It's what, year 3?
I've talked to a lot of IU fans and they already want to fire him. We're like, what the hell are you talking about? You guys did the same thing.
They wanted to fire him last year, bro.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Like, he's bringing in the players. They just have to gel. Trace Jackson Davis is a walking bucket. We're going to hear that name for at least a good 2-3 years.
2 years, yeah.
He'll be an NBA player, but I feel like he should stay to develop the team and himself. Because he's just got to grow into his body.
I think for IU, I think for Miller, he's bringing too many players I like.
He needs to get a little bit more diversity.
His recruiting class next year, I like it. Bunch of shooters coming in. A bunch of homegrown Indiana players coming in. I like that. So I'm going to give him another year. Another 2 years. I think he'll be alright.
But is IU going to be patient?
IU's never patient.
IU is basically, this is how I look at IU. IU in basketball, right now in the last 20 years, is exactly the same path as Michigan for football.
Yes, the expectations are
it's very high.
It's
unrealistic, and it's too much in the past.
Yes.
And it's a team who has so many national championships, just like Michigan in football. So many great coaches.
If you want that back as a program, you have to be patient.
And you have to change them to the times too.
Yes.
Because you're trying to win a ball game in a new era where it's played.
So moving on from that, the last 10 years of college basketball, you can say Duke's been really solid, maybe the best team. Kansas been up there, North Carolina, Villanova. Even Michigan making 2 Final Fours.
Yeah. No, 2 championships.
2 championship games. How about the next 10 years? Who's maybe your top 4 or 5 teams you got? Programs, coaches, who's going to be those guys coming up?
I really like Gonzaga.
You like Gonzaga?
I think Gonzaga can continually get recruiting. I mean, the 2 guys we talked about, obviously I'm a little biased towards Michigan, but if Juwan can stay, and same with Benny, those 2 very good. I think Gonzaga is a good team that I feel like in the next 10 years might be at the top. Let's talk about teams that aren't getting so much love that should be. Let's talk about Oregon Ducks.
That's on my list. That's on my list. Oregon's on my list, yes.
Oregon Ducks keep making it to the tournament.
They keep getting good.
They keep getting players. Now, unfortunately, they get shitty matchups where they're facing like really good teams and then they lose by the buzzer.
Yes.
Or they win by a buzzer. You know, like it's just what it is. So, can Oregon look to rebound in the next 10 years and string themselves at least one team to win a national championship and stay relevant in college basketball?
You know,
and do it for the Pac-12.
Yeah, you said Oregon, another team that people don't talk about that I like and recruiting really good. Texas Tech.
Texas Tech.
I think Texas Tech would challenge Kansas for the next 10 years.
And I hope so. I think that'll be a good Big 12 matchup battle. I think Texas, if they can get Shaka Smart going, we know that if you just give him time, he will develop a great team. And we've seen it before in VCU. And we just saw the here and now in VCU because nobody understood who he was or knew who he was. Now let's see what happens in the next 4 years, 3 years. See if he can get Texas back to relevancy in basketball.
So real quick, I have five teams down that I think will make a statement in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
And in order. 1 Louisville.
I was gonna say them, but they're kind of back now.
2 Texas Tech. 3 Oregon. 4 Michigan. 5 Memphis.
So me and you are pretty much on the same page. We're talking about coming back to relevancy.
It's pretty much like 3 of those 5 teams have new coaches who are building up and bringing those teams back to life.
And if not new, semi-new.
And those 2 are semi-new who's taking programs who were here, taking them to the next level.
Yeah.
So
all 5 teams will make the playoffs this year, or the tournament.
Yes.
I guarantee they'll make the tournament.
So
anything else?
yeah.
You guys are ready for NBA? Let's give you the rundown. All-star voting. What does Dallas need?
Take the next step.
Yep. Trade rumors, other news. Also, we'll talk about betting on basketball and how we go about it. Because that's one thing we really haven't talked about in a while is betting. I've been out of the game for a while, but I know just because I haven't bet, I still understand how to bet. And then top 5 players of the next decade.
So we'll talk about that when we come back.
So all-star voting, who should we pick?
Well, who should do the picking? And
You're saying who should do the picking?
yeah, now, like I don't know if you saw the list for the All-Star. The first round picks came in the other day. Had Taco Falls on the front court list, top 10. Had Alex Caruso at number 7 for guards.
Okay. Who you met?
I just don't know if the fan vote should be that high. Now, the other day, I was thinking, well, how do we do
Does the All-Star mean anything, though? That's what I think it got.
But there's no way Taco Fall should be in the All-Star voting when he played 5 minutes all season in the NBA.
But it's because he's Taco freaking Fall and he's 8 foot tall.
I think All-Star, right now, watching All-Star games, like, it's harmless.
Yeah.
But looking back at careers, like, yeah, he was in 14 All-Star games. That means something to
Yes.
me. So, in my head, I came up, I was like, can it be a different system? So, I'm thinking, this is what I came up with. You tell me if you like it. The starting 5, 40% fan vote, 60% media.
Okay.
Bench is 50% players,
50% fan.
50% coaches.
Okay.
Now, that's only 5 players. You get 12 on a roster.
Yeah.
1 player is a fan vote, strictly. 1 player is a players pick only.
Yeah, because they can pick some random guy that they feel deserves.
Yes. So maybe like, okay, let's say this year, you get the 10 best and those last 2 picks. Let's say the fans like, look, it's in Chicago. Let's all vote D-Rose in the All-Star game. Okay, something nice like that. And the players be like,
well, D-Rose deserves it. These are the highest numbers he's had in a while since he won. He's on track to breaking his MVP number.
Yeah, and then NBA players like, look, this guy got snubbed.
Yeah.
Let's vote him in.
Or like last year, he got snubbed.
Yeah.
Who were some guys that got snubbed last year that do you think that should have? There was a few, and I can't think of them, but I remember there was some controversy last year.
Yeah, especially out west is just so hard. Especially last week, that made good players out west. And this year, I think this year's got who's gonna make the game. You know who's gonna be the starters. And right now, I think the interesting thing is that who's gonna be the pickers. Who's gonna be the captains. And right now, Giannis is the top vote getter for the East.
Hard in the West.
No. Giannis is the overall top vote getter. Second and first in the West is Luka.
Luka Doncic, I like that.
LeBron's, it's so close. LeBron's literally 200 votes behind him. That is close.
See, but I feel like we've done Team LeBron, Team Curry. We like not to hate on LeBron, but let's switch it up.
And LeBron's
still going to be a big part of it.
Yeah, and I'm all for having Luka as a captain, and Giannis was a captain.
Do you think that if you're in the All-Star game, then you should be not allowed to play in like the 3-point contest?
Oh no! You should be allowed to.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
But what if it's like, let's get other fans, like guys that get snubbed to be in like the 3-point?
But I mean, a lot of the times the top players, a lot of top players on WNBA dunk contest. You get different players in, but 3-point contest, Let the stars play. We want the stars.
Yeah.
Right? And speaking of that, did you see who is back in the dunk contest this year? There's been rumor that for the... Not rumor, this is actually confirmed. In the skills competition, the D-Rose will be in the skills competition in Chicago. The dunk contest. Dwight Howard's back in the dunk contest this year. Yeah. Dwight making a return. 2-time champ. Back in the dunk contest. And they have offered Ja Morant a spot.
They offered him a spot?
He hasn't decided yet. They offered him a spot. That's all we know yet.
He needs to take it.
That's all we know. I mean,
we assume... Take it. After he almost posterized it. Oh my gosh. Dude, he broke the internet, but let's talk about if he makes that dunk, he breaks the internet. I lose my mind. I run around naked in the streets if John Morant
Kevin Love said, if he dunked on me, I would have to retire. Yeah.
Like, it was that bad of a dunk if he would have made that dunk.
I think people assume Zach LaVine will be in the dunk contest in Chicago. He plays for Chicago.
Oh, I was going to say maybe bring back Blake Griffin, but he just got arthritic or scoped his knee out.
How about this? He hasn't played, but he's close to being like he might play within the next 2 weeks. Have that be Zion showcase.
Yeah, what about Zion?
Bring him on. Here you go. Walk him to the NBA. Okay?
But what about his knee, though? Do you think that hurt, or do you think he's good?
I just don't think the Pelicans will really want him to do it.
Well, obviously not if they've been waiting on him to come back.
So, going on to the next part is the Mavs. The Mavs top 5 team in the West.
Always to come back to the Mavs.
I'm just so not bigger on Mavs, just so impressed what they've been doing
with who they have.
Who they have,
and we talked about that kind of last time. It's like with like Ken Kristaps kind of with Luka out a little bit.
And he did
step up.
And now Luka's back.
One game, and now Luka's back, and now they're balling.
Luka had another 30-point triple double last night.
So what does Dallas need to take the next step?
They need another guard.
That's what I was just about to say. They need somebody that can very much step up.
Very much
do you need a veteran guard, or do you?
I would take a veteran.
What about Derrick Rose? I know we talked about Derrick Rose, but what, like, say it doesn't work out in Detroit?
Yeah, very much a veteran, off-ball point guard.
Yes.
Now, he like a guy that plays the point guard position, guards point guards, but is a nice shooter. So Luka can still run the offense.
What about like Clay? Like if his contract's up?
Yeah, but like Clay's never gonna leave. But like, I just think for them, like a solid piece right now. I don't think they get him, but somebody like a George Hill.
Yeah, I was about to say somebody like George Hill, but like, who would that person be though? You know, like
who's out there right now?
Yeah, who's out there right now that we could see going to Dallas?
I mean, D-Rose is very. I think D-Rose.
That would be like the obvious one because the Pistons need to.
There's Derek Collison is say he's already returned to the NBA, but he's pretty much set out either going to the Lakers or Clippers.
Yeah.
You got DJ Augustine, who's a set-up shooter at the point.
DJ Augustine's a beast, man. And coming out of Notre Dame.
Yeah, Texas.
Oh, that DJ Augustine. Because there's DJ August. Yeah. But yes, DJ Augustine, yes, from Texas is very good as well.
So there's a couple of guards that can shoot the ball or that can help him out. So other trade rumors I have been hearing throughout the week. Kyle Kuzma. Lot of talk.
Young.
I don't think he gets traded.
Young.
Rob Pelinka is very, not attached, but very, doesn't want to give him up.
Yes.
They said it would take a first-round draft pick and a really good role player for them.
Because the potential is there.
Another thing, Andre Drummond is going to get traded at some point this season.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. And if the Hawks can get him, that is huge. The Hawks are the leaders to get Andre Drummond, and that would be a huge get if they don't have to give up too much.
Yeah.
D Rose, like I said, is on the trading market. I think he gets traded too.
Is Blake Griffin done, or is he just?
Blake Griffin's not going to get traded because he has surgery today and he's out for the season.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much Blake Griffin and Detroit.
So is Detroit just giving up already?
Yes, they are.
They just
are.
Just like all their teams right now, just
other people. The Knicks said everybody's available, but RJ Barrett. Other thing, Miles Turner is out there getting talk. So
when's Depot coming back?
Victor Oladipo will be back around All-Star break.
Okay.
And Andre Iguodala still has not played. Wants to get bought out by Memphis. They said they'll trade him. He's either going to get bought out or get traded. for him to be on either the Lakers or Clippers where he wants to go, he has to get bought out.
Yeah.
So a team that is interesting to watch who could trade for him is the Houston Rockets.
I would like that.
Houston Rockets is really the only big contender that could have the pieces to trade for him.
Yeah.
And if
Who
I'm
would they
them,
give up?
if
You
I
give up Capella?
no, you don't have to give anybody big. Just like give up maybe
Like Nene or like...
just something with the contract for and first round draft pick.
Okay.
But if I'm Houston, I'd get that deal done.
Because they could win the championship with that deal. I mean,
Yes.
I'm not saying they will, but they could. You know, if he comes in and plays the way he's supposed to play, I mean, let's be honest, Harden and Russ are starting to figure each other out and starting to go off. So you add that big piece into it, and a good 3-point shooting 5, let's be honest. Iguodala, I know he's old, but he's good and he's smart.
Yeah, and I think other teams out east, Philly is looking for another guard. Now, I heard something about Philly. I don't know how true it is.
Who they trade? Embiid?
No,
did you see
not
his finger?
Yeah, that's disgusting. Nothing big. What? Nothing big. Not one of the big plays, but this will be a big trade. They're talking about Al Horford, maybe a young guy or two, and draft picks to Portland for CJ McCollum.
I like that.
That would be nice.
But
I don't think Portland does it. 'Cause I don't think that benefits them at all. And Portland makes a trade, so it'll be for Kevin Love.
Yeah.
And another team is the Heat.
Okay.
The Heat are looking to add a veteran player, another shooter, very much like JJ Redick.
Yeah.
I think they can get JJ Redick for a low price. So,
top 5 players of the decade.
top 5 players of
This next decade.
So I'll give you my top 5 first. So, I think do I have it in order? In order. Alright? This is a freaky out, I think. Number 1, Giannis.
Okay.
Number 2, AD.
Okay.
Number 3, Luka.
Okay.
And we're talking about at the end of 2030, who's the top 5 players.
Okay.
This is what I got. Number 4, Zion. Number 5, blow out your chair for this one. LaMelo Ball.
I like it, bro.
That's what you like that top 5?
But Harden's gonna be good for the next 10 years. You can't deny that he's gonna be a top player.
But when we get 2025, you look at Harden, and he's 34, 35. This is 5 years ago in a decade.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying.
Look at LeBron's gonna be done.
And I don't know why I'm saying this, because then I see kind of like, because I was kind of mad when ESPN brought the all-decade team and then put Kobe Bryant on it, even though he won championship in 2010.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, there's a lot, the latter part of that decade you gotta count too.
So who was the all-decade team for them? This last 2010.
It was LeBron, James Harden, Steph, Giannis, and I forget the 5. Yeah, Kawhi. Yep. That was there.
That's pretty good.
It was pretty good. It's pretty good, but I think my 5, I like my 5 for the next decade.
What would you say your top 5 was? And this is how we're going to end the show, but how was your top 5 from 2000 when we were kids growing up to 2010?
Ooh, so
Does
my top 5?
Well, let's just make a list together.
Okay, so
you gotta put Kobe in number 1.
Well, are we going top 5 or we going by position?
Just top 5.
Top 5, okay. So I'm gonna go
Kobe.
I'm gonna go Shaq number 1.
Okay.
He won 3 championships.
Well, okay, let's do top 10 because there were so many good guys our decade.
I can Shaq, Kobe, LeBron, KG. But even before KG, you got Tim Duncan.
No, I know. That's what I was going to say. Tim Duncan. I'm saying in any order.
Yeah. D-Wade, of course.
Do you put Bosh in there?
No, Bosh isn't in my top 10.
I wouldn't either. Ray Allen.
Top 10? Yeah, you made me thinking that. Before Ray Allen, I'm putting Park Pierce before Ray Allen.
Ooh,
yeah, for sure. The truth? Yeah.
Okay.
God, you got me thinking that.
About like DeAndre Jordan.
Not DeAndre Jordan. Chris Paul.
Who are we fucking?
Chris Paul, Darren Williams. Those were the 2 top players in the league.
Are we forgetting about somebody?
Well, in the front half of that decade, from 2010
No, bro, we're forgetting about somebody big, bro.
Who do you think? He made my list. I'm about to say him. Allen Iverson. He's in the list.
That's not who I was thinking about.
Who are you thinking about?
Dirk Nowitzki,
bro.
Oh,
yeah, Dirk. So we got 2 more spots left in the top 10?
Yeah.
One more spot. We got one more spot. And I'm gonna say Melo.
Melo? Yeah, I'll go with
So you
Melo.
got the banana crew in there.
Banana
boat crew.
Yeah.
So I got them.
Crew.
And so
The
from that,
Australian Dream Team.
I think from that, honestly, for me, I was young, but that was my favorite decade. Of
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Being a Kobe Bryant fan, I love that. I love that decade.
Hell yeah. So thank you guys. It's been real. Hustle Basketball Podcast. We'll come to you with more. I want to do an All-Star edition. I think that'd be crazy. We break down skill contests, stuff like that.
Next month, right before.
Yep, right before the break. We'll talk about trade rumors. We'll talk about how the All-Star game can impact the rest of the season and the trades that are going to happen at the break. Thank you guys for watching the Hustle Podcast. See you later.